it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is the December reading for Cancer. So if you are a sun rising or have your moon in Cancer, it may resonate for you. If it doesn't, check out your rising and your moon signs. If you're enjoying the reading and you'd like to support the channel, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed, and you can also purchase the extended reading, and the link for that is in the description box below. Please also stay tuned in December because I'm going to be posting out your 2020 annual readings this month. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the notification for that. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so that you can see the cards that I'm pulling for you for December, Cancer. And we'll get started. Okay, Cancer, December 2019, last month of the decade. How are we beginning your reading? So we're in this beautiful new moon energy of Sagittarius right now, which is your 6th house energy, okay? Helping you, I want to say, with the foundational blueprint of what the bigger picture looks like and what you need to do to look after yourself, your health, your well-being, and what structures, what organization, what things you need to put into place and now to basically enable that vision, right? Sagittarius energy is all about the bigger picture, helping to look at new possibilities, new ways of doing things, wanting to explore and expand your way of thinking, bring in new learning to support that. And then 6th house for you is that deeper desire and that quest to want to be of service in some way, and how you reconcile that with your own well-being. How do you take care of yourself as you're trying to create this new vision for your life? You know, maybe for many of you, you've been very focused all throughout the year in getting over the line with something and creating something new, breaking new ground, really trying to progress some sort of passion or project, or you know, a business, or your career in general, or even if this is related to family situation or a home move, or just it just feels like the big projects that you've taken on this year, and the impact and the toll that that's taken in and around your health. So this is now the season of you having the opportunity to bring that self-care into the equation, so that for the next big expansion, the next level of growth that comes through, you're ready and prepared to be able to have the energy and the desire and the motivation to keep going. So we bring your reading through to begin with the 2 of Pentacles, and it does suggest to me this need for you to reassess where your priorities are. I think for many of you, you're still feeling a little bit weighed down with the responsibility and trying to just juggle just too much. There's too much on the go at the moment. You're making it work, but I feel like 6th house energy through Sagittarius season for you is asking you to just reprioritize and look at what you can set down. You don't need to focus on everything all at once, and actually you could be the single point of failure in something, you know. So if you don't take care of your own mental well-being, emotional well-being, physical well-being, then where does that leave you with these bigger picture and the bigger plans? Everything is coming in its divine timing and order. You're exactly where you're meant to be right now, Cancer. So, you know, this charge of new moon energy that's asking you to set intentions about what the next pathway looks like and what you want to bring in, also needs to deliver that energetic blueprint and how you can do that without, I want to say, without like missing out on life in the day-to-day, because sometimes it's easy to look at that bigger picture and just get so caught up with working toward the dream or the goal, whatever that may be. You know, if it's you trying to create a better body for yourself and putting all your time and energy into the exercise, if it's about a relationship and you throwing 100% of your time and focus into that one person, if it's an energy or a business or children right now, it just feels like the guides are coming through and saying, okay, where do you fit in all of this? Because without that balance, without that reciprocated energy, or finding that you have time to step away from the creation of that bigger picture, you are in danger of losing then the heart or the motivation to keep going with it. So there's just an important message about that self-care aspect that's coming through.
On the 2nd of December, Jupiter, which has been in Sagittarius for the last year, is moving into the sign of Capricorn, which is your 7th house of partnerships. This is going to be a transit all through 2020, and it's going to be really fortuitous for you in terms of those partnerships in your life. Key relationships, Cancer, whether it's personal or professional, romantic or platonic. That planet of growth and expansion, bringing in luck, synchronicity, opportunity in the 7th house is really going to help bring about divine timing, I feel, for many of you to cement and bring new connections to the forefront and explore new ideas and new inspirations and really gain from the advancement of that as Jupiter sets a new course for expansion in your world. Capricorn says luck comes through that sense of perseverance. We make our own luck. We show up. We vibrate in an energy that knows the utter worthiness of what it is that we seek. So I also feel that as we move through Sagittarius 6th house for you, there's an assessment going on of, okay, what do I need to receive in order to feel balanced and aligned within myself? And that information, okay, that self-care, that self-love, that self-worth is going to be really important then when we move into 7th house and you're looking at these key relationships, because now you're able to more easily express, Page of Cups, and communicate your heart needs. So, you know, whether that's a professional business partnership or relationship where you're saying, okay, here's what I'm good at, here's what I bring to the table, this is what I need from you, and this is the kind of environment in which I can thrive. And I think that's really important. It's not just about receiving the kind of the outline of something. It's also about what is the space around that that's going to help support you in your development. So you can have that right relationship, that right partnership come in, and it could be everything that you've asked for, Cancer. But if the surrounding components, if the environment with which that has shown up isn't right, then you're going to not find true alignment in that. So that 6th house energy in Sagittarius season is really going to help you to refine what that looks like. For example, if you are really seeking that deep commitment from a partner, but you are also aware that you need an awful lot of independent time to be able to focus on a passion or a business, you know, if that person then shows up and gives you that full commitment, but then you feel suffocated or, you know, almost like there's no time or energy for other things, then you kind of got what you wanted, but you hadn't considered the other needs that you have in your life. Does that make sense? So I think there's an important insight that's coming through December for you as we reflect not only back through the entirety of 2019, but also the last decade, because we're wrapping up a decade right now. So you're going to be thinking back and looking at the ways in which you have prioritized your needs and how that's changed and what that means to the landscape moving forward, and being quite fearless and open, and I want to say almost having an air of kind of expectancy and hopefulness about the changes that can transpire as a result of that. So Page of Cups could be used, the water sign Cancer, or it might be another water sign that you're dealing with right now. Perhaps there is a sense of you weighing something up, a choice to be made, a consideration that's been put on the table if we're looking at, you know, moving into that 7th house partnership season. We have a 12th of December full moon in the sign of Gemini, okay? Gemini is your 12th house, which is all about the endings, the closure, the completion, the wrapping up, and that kind of is beautifully placed really as we're sort of coming toward the end of the year and wrapping up this last decade for you. So I think that assessment period around the full moon, remember full moons are about revelations and bringing things into the light to then be released. And so there's an opportunity for a reconciliation within yourself about maybe something that hasn't worked or hasn't turned out in the way that you expected it to, and now you are giving yourself permission to let it go. In letting it go, Cancer, you're creating space for something new and improved and even more aligned with your best and highest self to come in, okay? There could also be that sense of you just finding a sense of peace with something. So a situation might not be perfect right now, but you can still find that place of, it is what it is right now, and I know it's in a state of flux, and it's in a state of becoming, and in a state of change, and I'm okay with that. Three of Cups talks to me about the need to celebrate where you are, what you have achieved, and the awareness that you have come to, not only about yourself, but about the important connections and relationships in your life. I think that this is a time for you to bring more fun into your world. Both the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Cups for me is saying, you know, you need to take this time through the month of December to step away from perhaps some of the heavier responsibilities and duties, and just take some time out and enjoy the fruits of your labor, or enjoy that person, enjoy that connection, or remind yourself what you are passionate about. You know, what does pleasure mean to you? What does that word mean? How does it make you feel? Like, how do you seek it? How can you invite it into your world? There's something else about the full moon in Gemini. You know, the 12th house ruled by Pisces is all about completion and beginning. And in the sign of Gemini, Gemini likes to start things. It's a great instigator. It has the ideas. It wants to create multiple things at any one time, but does it have that sense of being able to see something through? So I think there's also a note about this full moon bringing in a revelation or an insight for you, Cancer, about maybe where you've started something and not finished it. And not necessarily looking at that in a critical way, but just understanding that actually you're allowed to change your mind, you're allowed to change direction. There are times when we want to revisit certain situations, certain connections, certain people, or experiences, and maybe the timing is better placed to do that. And there's also times when we must just accept that actually I no longer feel that way. This no longer works for me. This doesn't resonate anymore. And just being really at peace with the release of that. So I think that full moon in Gemini could also bring up for some of you that kind of dialogue. Okay. So as we move into Capricorn season, right into your 7th house, this is bringing about, I want to say, very synchronistic opportunities for new connections to arise. Seven of Swords says to me, what do you need to do to feel more trusting to when things show up for you? Okay, so if we are literally just talking about luck and opportunity and divine timing and, you know, the right people walking through the door at exactly the right moment, but you're still feeling a sense of unease around that, is there a block or some resistant energy within you that says, I don't trust this. I don't trust that this can happen. I don't trust this person. I don't trust the unfolding of this. What if the rug gets pulled? What if this doesn't materialize in the way that I want it to? I don't want to set any more expectations and have them not be fully realized. I'm feeling a sense of almost like there's that deeper desire to want to be hopeful and optimistic. That Sagittarius energy is kind of drawing you towards that, have the faith, believe it can happen, ruled by Jupiter, all of that lovely trine activity that's happening right throughout December with Jupiter. And then we have this like heavier, weighty kind of Capricorn energy that could settle in and say, but is that realistic? Can that happen? And maybe this is tripping back to some previous experiences that you've had through the course of this year and even the last 10 years, Cancer, where you're reflecting back on where things haven't gone in the way that you expected, or where people let you down or deceived you, or there's some sense of, guilt that's attached to certain situations. But there's a huge sense of healing that comes all the way through this month of December for you, okay? And I feel in the assessment and the reprioritization of what it is that you need to really bring yourself back into balance and alignment, there's a recognition of maybe where you need to open up your heart more to be more trusting. That Page of Cups has like a beautiful kind of naive quality at times that, okay, maybe they're not fully aware of the impact of what certain situations can lead to, but nonetheless they still put their heart on the line and say, you know what, even if it hasn't worked in the past, I'm prepared to take a risk again, even if I have been hurt. So careful to be aware of where you're getting triggered through this month. Remember, it's a very emotional, sensitive time of the year for many people as we reflect upon where we're at and what we've achieved in the year, how things have transpired for us. We approach the holiday seasons often thinking about loved ones that are with us and no longer with us, and so there's all sorts of different emotions and frenetic energy that's playing out. So if you're aware of what your triggers are in this instance, it can help you to bring in that sense of healing and completion and closure, because we're creating new stories as we move into 2020. The vibration is very different. We have a new energy, and with that we are being asked to look deep within ourselves and recognize what we have to leave behind. You know, all of these situations and experiences help to shape you, but they don't need to be dragged behind you, holding you back. There is this sense, 9 of Pentacles, coming in about your journey, I want to say, from that sense of doubt and mistrust into this poised and peaceful. I get a beautiful sense of peace exuding from that card today for you, about where you now stand. And if you stand independently, being really at ease with that. And if this is about you focused on your work or your business and your career, this is about feeling a sense of accomplishment about everything that you've achieved, you know, and being ready to celebrate that. And, you know, that sense of celebration is going to be really important this year, because I feel that there's a lot more hard work to come to move into this new vision. So the 9 is also talking about how your sense of worthiness, okay, another 9 coming through here, is impacting on your relationship. So this 7th house is going to be a really dominant picture, and you know, in Capricorn season, it's your polar opposite sign, so it often acts as a mirror, Cancer, to kind of what's going on within you. So we have this sort of double hit of like cardinal energy that's playing out as well. So this desire to want to take action towards something, to cement, you know, it's the house of marriage, that 7th house. So to cement, to marry yourself, to devote yourself to something or someone. It's not necessarily always romantic. This could be, I'm ready to devote myself to this project or this work that I'm doing, or to this friendship, or to this new way of life that I see for myself. 9 of Wands gives you the perseverance to keep going with that. Interestingly, there is this sense of trust that comes up a little bit, just because when I look at the way that the 9 is actually looking toward you, and then also this 7 of Swords, I want to say that there are people who are very tuned in to what you have to say right now, and looking for a way out of their current circumstance or experience or environment. So you're almost that guiding light. You're set there in the center of the reading, poised and at ease with yourself and what you've created and how you've done it. And there are people that are being inspired and want to learn from you. Maybe they're also, for some of you, that energy of people just slightly draining or kind of pulling on you a little bit. But I feel you are fairly energetically well protected through that month of December, to ensure that it's not something that's going to derail your progress. But just be aware that there's this, I want to say, just kind of pulling energy. So being mindful of the vibration that you're sending out, of the language that you're using, of the way that you want to connect, and what you want to say, because it has a sphere of influence that I think is much further than perhaps you are aware of, okay? 9 of Pentacles is also talking to me about these fortuitous opportunities that are coming through for you. You know, your last couple of readings have been really strong in and around the work and career side of things, and I think that there's more to come on that front for you. So move into that mindset of abundance and draw it towards you. I think for some of you that's going to come powerfully through collaboration, business partnership, and really merging with the idea or the passion that you have with that overarching influence of the seventh house. With the Four of Cups energy, there is that sense of perhaps slight malaise or apathy that could also come in, and I just feel it's almost because you've been going at it so strongly for so long, excuse me, that you're almost like really ready for that breakthrough. You're ready for that breakthrough, and I feel like you're already starting to get signs of it, even if you're not fully aware and tuned in to the vibration of it. It's right here. You know, this is not an energy where we're looking to, you know, have to work hard for another year before we see the fruits of anything. I think this could be quite unexpected. I think you could be quite surprised at the pace of things as they start to move toward the end of this month. We have a really beautiful and powerful new moon in Capricorn, which is also a solar eclipse happening on the 26th of December. A lovely way to finish the year in 2019. It's activating this beautiful trine with Jupiter and Uranus, and it's going to bring in like these completely unexpected, I feel like, doorways that are going to open, an invitation for you, the possibility of something that I feel is bringing about a sense of excitement or almost this anticipation of something that could be exactly what you've asked for or been looking for, okay? I feel for some of you there's some kind of gift that's coming in that's going to be unexpected. This could also be an earth sign that you're dealing with, okay? A Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo energy that I feel is bringing something to your door that you're going to want to receive. You're going to want to talk about it. You're going to want to look at this and see what's possible. Now, for me, the way it's being presented, it's not fully formed. So this could come up by ways of an idea, by ways of an introduction to somebody, by way of a door being opened or an invitation to a specific event or something that comes along that says, here's the first step. But I feel you're just going to get a link into the energy to say, actually, like, I know where this could go. I know where this could take me, okay? For those of you with a focus in and around relationship, with both of these pages coming through, there is a need for communication and openness, and there's a lot of messages that are coming in for me here. I feel you are being asked to listen, okay? You're being asked to listen to what is being said to you, and then make an assessment of whether you trust. And I do feel there might actually, for some of you, be some mistrust around what somebody is presenting or putting forward to you. And that's purely based on your experience of what's happened up to this point. However, when we are moving through this month of release, this time of closure and wrapping up, there is an opportunity for things moving forward to be done differently, to look at it differently. And so I don't see you discounting straight away, but I see you certainly not being pushed or cajoled into making a decision quickly. But I feel lines of communication feel open, but you're maybe just not fully seeing the picture, because I guess you need to see the action, not just the words, right? This feels positive on the abundance front for some of you. So if you have been going through periods where you've been having to juggle, or there's just too many changing priorities that's made it difficult to make any real headway, again, we see things settling down into a way that you have more structure, more organization, and a better handle on something, okay? Knight of Swords energy coming in, charging in, I want to say. It could be an air sign that we're dealing with here, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. And again, like when we're looking at it with this opportunity for something, I feel it just comes in really quickly and from a really unexpected place or an unexpected source is what I want to say, Cancer. So try not to be mistrusting of it, even if it doesn't come up in a way that you would expect it to. because you don't want to miss out on the opportunity, even if it feels like it's not really up your street. And because we're talking a lot about the seventh house, this could be by ways of a connection, by ways of a person. So maybe I don't want to align with that person, or maybe this person isn't really the kind of friend I would normally have, or the kind of person I would normally do business with, or this isn't the person I would normally consider dating. But there's something about I feel just the timing of this that I would encourage you to explore what is being presented, and try to let go of any old stories or narratives that might be holding you back from actually receiving like a new energy, a new pathway that is trying to emerge for you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just pull some oracle cards, see how these are reflecting for your reading this month. Okay, so your first oracle card coming through is hunger. So it's interesting because as we move through Sagittarius season with your sixth house of wellness, this is about the nourishment, right? How you're nourishing yourself, both through what you are eating, what you are consuming, who you're inspired by, the kind of energy you're surrounding yourself with. It's also asking you to look more deeply within at what it is that makes you feel whole, what it makes you feel vibrant and alive and joyful. And if you're craving that and you feel like it's still not shown up in your world, it's about what do I need to change, or what adjustment needs to happen for me in order to fully receive that. Very linked in with the full moon time and Gemini, again, like we talked about, where maybe you need to make peace with something. There's a sense of forgiveness or healing, but that polarity is going to be interesting because I feel it's really going to highlight where something might have shown up in your world and it's exactly what you asked for, but then it led to a new desire being birthed that made you realize that something else wasn't quite right. So there's just this like constant kind of refinement and adjustment that's taking place all the way up to the end of the year that I think is really important. I also feel with that wolf calling, for some of you it's about finding your voice, needing to find your voice over something. So if this is work related, it's about being bold and having the courage to actually put something out there, to speak up, to present or communicate with the pages that are coming through, and feel really confident about what you have to say or what you have to offer. I think on a relationship front, it's about you engaging, surrounding yourself with people that are more like-minded so that you feel more understood and more seen. And particularly in those personal relationships, romantic relationships, it's also about the need to express, here's what I need to feel more connected. This is the language of love that I speak. This is what I am looking for. This is how I want to be loved. This is about you finding your voice and linking into that. A lot of blue happening at the top of the reading, and here all linking into that throat chakra, I feel, Cancer, to help you say what's on your mind and say it fearlessly. That Nine of Pentacles, she's so at ease, she's so at peace with who she is and her position at this exact moment in time, that even though the landscape surrounding her isn't fully settled, it's not fully settled in yet, we are in a state of flux. And I'm kind of thinking it's interesting here that we don't actually have any major arcana that have shown up in the cards for you in December, because I feel we're in such a transitionary month where you're just still dealing with bigger themes that have played out. And I would fully expect, not only in the clarifying, but actually as we go into January, that you're going to have some really powerful major cards showing up that are going to set the tone for now what's coming in, okay? Okay, so your oracle card is love. Perfect was when we look at seventh house, the house of marriage, the house of connection. What is it that you're seeking? What do you love? How do you love? How do you receive love? All through December, in this more emotional, sort of sentimental period of time, this theme is going to be thrown up to you in different ways. There's this beautiful blue sky that's coming in, this sense of bloom and flourishing, and I feel that this is much about your own internal changing relationship with yourself, and how that's then impacting or about to impact on all the connections and relationships that surround you. But there's definitely this quality of having to trust and move into an energy of like openly embracing it. Sometimes Nine of Pentacles can be quite isolated, or almost like somebody who is independent, single. So if you are in that position and wanting to bring love through, we have the beginnings of something shown, but you're also being asked to be upfront and open about what it is that you need, so that you're setting the intention around these really powerful new moons, the Sagittarius that we're in just now, and also that Capricorn new moon eclipse. So your moon card coming in, your commitment is being tested. So if you are in a challenging situation with regards to relationships right now, going through a period of time where you feel uncertain, or you're assessing the future if you're with the right person, or maybe dealing with the kind of fallout of a particular set of circumstances, as we move through December, I do feel you finding the answers that you are looking for within yourself to make that true judgment of what comes next. The commitment, I feel, is also to your vision, to your work, to your family. It's like whatever it is that you're working on, you have been pushed and stretched and asked to continuously show up and dig deeper and find more faith in the absence at times of any validation or sign that it is worth it and it is coming together. And it's a reminder here not to lose that hunger, that passion, that love for what it is that you're doing, or who you are with, or what it is that you want, because that commitment being tested is all bringing a point of fruition and completion through for you, okay? So it's not all for nothing. Cancer, I hope this has given you some insight into the month ahead. If you have resonated, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm also going to be putting out your 2020 annual readings through the month of December. So if you're subscribed, you'll receive the notification for those. If you'd like to join me for the extended, I'm going to go ahead and just clarify some of these cards to pull out some deeper messages about what's coming through for you. So we begin with the Two of Pentacles, and I've got Seven of Pentacles to clarify here. So this period of assessment that we've been talking about coming through quite strongly. We also have the Ten of Pentacles coming out. Could be family situation that's strongly on your mind. Again, that just sense of security coming through for you, what that represents. Wheel of Fortune. There you go with your major arcana. We talked about this synchronistic karmic intervention, lucky opportunities, doorways opening. And with the Page of Cups, certainly that opportunity for something new to begin, or to be taken to the next level. Okay, we have Five of Coins over the Three of Cups here. So that sense of lack versus that need to celebrate. Interestingly, we'll go into that in a bit more detail in the extended. Let's pull one more with that. Okay, Five of Wands. Definitely some challenge or disruptive energy around that. Could be a third-party situation or a social situation with friendship or relationship. We'll look at that. Okay, we've got the Devil with the Seven of Swords here. So is this a Capricorn energy, or is this an old pattern that's got stuck in your vibration that the month of December is looking to pull up and to clear out for you? Okay, we will look at this. And I have a sense, actually, let's take a look here. Yeah, Four of Cups. Okay, interesting message. We'll go into that in the extended for you, Cancer. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Let's take a look here. Okay, we have Queen of Swords. Could be an air sign that you're dealing with here. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Also a side of yourself as well. Both the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords can be quite cool, quite detached in terms of their energy. Maybe you're dealing with somebody like that, or you're having to be that way yourself, or some kind of situation is causing that. Again, we'll take a look at it. Interestingly, where we had these two cards looking in toward the Nine, the Queen is now looking directly towards this individual in the Nine. So who is this person? This could be a fire sign energy here, Cancer, that's important with something that's playing out here. Two of Cups, so certainly this could be a relationship situation with a fire sign. If it's resonating for you, we'll go and look at that in the extended. Okay, Four of Cups is bringing through the Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign that we're dealing with here. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Knight of Wands, fire energy also coming in. Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords showing up at the root of your reading here. I just feel there's going to be fast change coming in toward the end of this month and into early January. Okay, Page of Pentacles is being clarified with the Queen of Cups. Could be you, Cancer. I feel that is the case. Five of Swords with that Knight of Swords. Interesting. Hunger card is pulling out the Page of Swords. Again, could be another air sign here that we're dealing with, but more news and communication needed. Love is bringing through the Four of Wands. What is it that you seek? It's that harmony, it's that balance, it's that sense of coming together, linking in with the home environment very much so, if it's a family situation. And your commitment is being tested. Eight of Cups. Ooh, interesting, Cancer. Where are you looking to walk away from something? Have you walked away? Has somebody walked away from you? We'll look at that in more detail. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. If you want to join me for the extended, you can go ahead and click on the downward arrow next to the video description. The link will come up and we'll continue this narrative. Otherwise, I wish you blessings for the month of December, and I really look forward to seeing what's coming up for you in your reading for 2020. Take care. Bye-bye.